Hi, Frank Forrest, Product Manager with Carlisle HVAC Brands. Today we want to talk to you about the newest solvent-based adhesive from the Hardcast group, which is our Insta-Grip. It is an immediate tacking solvent-based product offered in a true red and a true black color, made here in the USA. And we want to talk to you about application tools, some troubleshooting, some maintenance items, and actually how to set up your sprayer to spray this product. For the spray application, we're going to be using a Binks diaphragm pump. This is a pail mounted system, and Binks is a sister division of ours through the Carlisle Fluid Technologies group. We do have a recommended adhesive delivery system document on our website that'll actually have in the part numbers as well as your local Binks distributor where you can find the equipment locally. The Binks, it's not required to use this Binks pump. If you have an off-the-shelf pump or you may already have a pump, that'll be just fine. The only thing we recommend is that you actually research the materials of the pump and make sure they're compatible with the solvents that are in Insta-Grip. So on a diaphragm pump, you'll have two pressure regulators. This one here is going to be your product pressure, and this one will be your atomization pressure. Obviously your product pressure is what pushes the adhesive through the pump, through the hose, and through the gun. And then your atomization pressure actually will go through the end of the gun and help kind of splatter your pattern. In addition to your product and your atomization pressure settings on your diaphragm pump, you also have controls in the gun. So here is our air hose coming in for our atomization. This is our product hose to supply the product to the gun. We have air control valve here. If you turn that clockwise, it will actually limit the amount of air going through the gun. Counterclockwise will open that up. I prefer to keep that all the way open. And then on the gun, we have this dial here is your product, amount of product allowed to flow through the gun. So once again, clockwise, it will limit the flow of product through the gun. Counterclockwise will open that up. And then at this very top one you see here, that is what's called side control, and that actually controls the fan pattern spraying through the gun. So the more closed clockwise will be a round pattern, and the more open will be a true fan pattern spray. So a good starting point is recommend that you set your product pressure at 50 psi and your atomization pressure at 25 psi. What you're going to notice on the atomization pressure is the gauge is slightly higher, but when I pull the trigger, you can see it drops down to 25. So it's important to note that each applicator is going to have their own preferred settings on the equipment. So with this set to 50 and 25 and my gun adjusted for my preferred spray settings, we're going to spray here. Notice the good even coverage. Also note the true red color. And one of the things you want to make sure that you're not over or under applying the product is make sure that you use a mil gauge. Verify your application thickness. So what happens when your product pressure setting or your atomization pressure setting is off? So we want to show you that with this system here. I'm going to adjust the product pressure up well above 50 psi so we can see that spray. What you can see is I've got really heavy coverage right here, so it's too much product. So let me adjust that back down. So I can adjust our atomization pressure just by adjusting this valve here on the gun. So what happens if we have no atomization pressure? We get a nice string, which is not good. So we will adjust that back up a little bit. If we have too little atomization pressure, you'd see that I'm not getting as good a coverage as I did on our previous spray. So we're going to go ahead and adjust this back all the way out. And what happens if we have too much atomization pressure? Let me adjust this on the pump. All right, so let's see what we've got here. As you can see, we had minimal product, a lot of atomization pressure, and as you can tell, it's already cured. So if you have too much atomization pressure, you can actually cure the product in midair before it even gets to the surface. So let's talk about maintenance and troubleshooting. Maintenance, you should have a preventative maintenance schedule in place for the equipment. It is an investment, so you should take care of it. The pump manufacturer will have a recommended schedule for cleanings and what that cleaning process is. We recommend you follow that. In lieu of that, we recommend that you clean your pump after each pail of product or bi-monthly, whichever would occur sooner. And what that's going to entail is using mineral spirits or some similar solvent, flushing through the pump, the hose, the gun, and everything. Whatever solvent is available in your jurisdiction, and then of course making sure that you take care of those cleaning solvents in an appropriate manner when done. In regards to troubleshooting, the pump supplier or manufacturer should have a list of troubleshooting items to look through. Of course, make sure that you have all the seals, you don't have any leaks anywhere. If you're seeing where you're getting too much air entrained into your spray, double check the seals, make sure your air connections are nice and tight. And then if you see that your spray pattern is starting to adjust even though your gun settings and your pressure settings are staying the same, then you really need to look at the pump seals and the diaphragm seals in your pump. Having said that, thank you and happy gluing.